10.2, let's go. So, we're going to be doing binary searches. Binary searches are great. They just want us to go through and basically trace their code a bit by adding some print statements. So, first thing we're going to do is print out. So, we're going to be doing lots of printing. So, let's just go ahead and do that. And then first thing we're going to do, actually we're just going to do this all in the if statement. It's the value at start index, and then we're going to put our begin. Sorry, we want the begin as the index. We want the array at position begin. We're going to be doing this a lot. So then we're going to do the mid index. Put in excuse me. Put in our mid. We're going to do some printing in here, and then we also need to print out our at the end index. The index, if you will. And then we need to do some more printing. So if we find it, we say target equals mid if we find it there. That means we have found the search, or we found the target. You have to obviously print before you return, or else it won't print. And you might get an unreachable statement error. This would be target is less than mid, exclamation point. And finally, target is greater than mid. Boop. Okay. Now we run it. It's going to test it on this array. That looks good. I'm supposed to skip a line somewhere, it looks like. I'm just going to throw \ns on each of these. Status checks, I would call those. That looks good. Next up, we've got combining and comparing. We're going to print the count of the loop. Okay, easy enough. That's generating the array. That's going through and iterating. So we need a counting variable. We're going to start at 0. I always do that before the loop. We increment by 1. Once we find it, then we would, instead of returning mid, we return our count. And that looks like it. Over in our linear search, turns out I is almost the count, except that the time where you find it also counts as 1. And then it asks us to test this on 5 different size arrays, so sure, we'll do that. Powers of 10. Love them powers of 10. Let's run that. Should print out 5 different numbers. That looks pretty reasonable. Why was the linear search? That was rather lucky. There we go. Okay. Finally, we're going to go through and do the max iterations. They give us some helper methods to make this easier. We've got several different array sizes, and we need to generate some arrays. Now, one thing that you might notice is that these are all powers of 10, so we're going to use that fact to our advantage. I'm going to use a for loop because I'm a big fan of doing for loops. If we look at the powers of 10, we've got 10 to the power of 2 will be our first one. Then we got to the power of 3, 4, and 5, so we'll say I is less than 6, or I could do less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. And I, in this case, is actually going to be a power of 10. So we'll go ahead and generate that. So we're going to use math.pow, taking 10 to the power of I, and that gives us a value. And then we need to generate our, first we got to print our array. So our good old friend system.out.println, we'll go ahead and copy that, and we're going to print out array size colon plus val. And then we need to find the max. So first we need to generate the array. Yeah, actually we're going to print the max first. So we're going to do max iterations. Oops. And we got to call binary max on our val. And then we got to go through and actually implement a search and figure out how many it takes. So we're going to use this make array or generate array of length method. So, and in fact, we can just call this inline. We're just going to go ahead. Let's store this as a variable. Int iterations, and we're going to call the binary recursive function. We have to generate the array. Generate array of length. Val is what we're going to use. Our target. What is our target? We're supposed to find a random value in the array, which I guess we have to do ourselves. Okay, I'm going to do this a little. Okay, so I'm going to have to rewrite this a bit. That's fine. So we're going to create an array of integers, which we can just call ARR, and generate the array. And then make a target. So the way that you can get that is we're going to use find within R, and then we need a random index. So the way you can get a random index is use math.random. And as a recollection of that, I could have, maybe just for readability, I'll do this as its own variable. You could do this all in one line. Random index is, and now we're going to cast as an int the output of math.random is a method times the number of possible values we have. That's basically the length of the array. And then we're going to go ahead and grab that. There's our target. And then we have to now just call the binary thing with our array, our target, and then we need our beginning and ending values. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Oh, because it's getting sorted. That makes sense. There's an arrays.sort method. That's handy. So our begin value would just be array of 0. Our end value. Wait. Oh no. Sorry, those are indices. So val -1. Let's go ahead and run it. It's not like the fact that val is. Yeah. Okay, well, it doesn't like the fact that I did it that way, which is fine. That's me just trying to be clever. And I did not actually print out this, so I got to print out actual iterations, colon, and num iterations. Okay, so let's try it one more time. That's pretty good. Then we'll check it. There we go. That is 10.2.